BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. Every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Hello, hello, hello. It's Private Talk Podcast with Alexis, Texas, and we are back, Season 6. And today, Private Talk, we have the pleasure of having adult male entertainer, Mazee The Goat.
What's good? What's good?
Hello and welcome to Private Talk. I'm excited to get to know you more. I've seen you from afar, first starting at Exotica booths, saw the craze, saw the wildness that was going on, and I was intrigued from the start. So I was I didn't know who you were, but I was like, you're somebody that people want to know. So I was like, you have a booth, you came out strong, and it was like very intriguing.
I appreciate that. So
we walked over to the booth, we all, had it all. So I was like, now I'm finally glad that you had the time to kind of pry yourself away from that and come and have a conversation with us. I almost kind of sometimes like these ones better, where it's because it's not so chaotic when there's things going on.
That is true.
And you can kind of give a little bit more indulge of like who you are.
That is true. That is true. Exotica was definitely an experience for me. It was my first booth, so and then it was kind of crazy, like you said. So it was just I was learning a lot as I was going through the motion. So yeah, it was just a lot going on.
Hey, that's a good thing if you are new in the industry at that time and like having a lot going on. It's always a plus because that's what we want, right? We want the chaos, we want the madness, because that means you're doing something right.
Yeah,
they're standing in that line, they're trying to see what you're doing. So what were you doing? I feel like there's so much more to you than just you being an adult entertainer. I feel like you are an entertainer thus far.
That is true.
Your background, you came from dancing.
That is true.
And it's like almost kind of like you had a show going on in your booth, but not, in a sense. So like, can you talk us a little bit about like doing your first show at Exotica and kind of setting that kind of tone, and like what were the premises for that and what kind of the setup?
Of course. So basically Exotica for me was definitely me just rebranding what I did before, like you said, the whole dance thing. So when I was dancing, I was a break dancer, hip hop, and all that good stuff. So I got booked for like bar mitzvahs,
Okay.
So my guy, he would he has his own like DJ company, and he would build the stage and the wall and the backdrops and stuff for the kids. So I just kind of revamped it and just put like sex on it in a sense. So I had him come out. I did that. That was kind of where like my vision was for that. But as far as like the show and just like being there and doing things, it was just like I was doing lap dances. The girls was doing lap dances. It was just like a lot of pictures like taken. A lot of floor work being done. Okay. So like like the fans that was like passing by, no matter if you was like a woman or you was there with your girl or you was there with your guy, like y'all could both come and get a lap dance and like get the whole porn star experience,
So when you say floor work, break that down to some Private Talk listeners that maybe not have been to an Exotica or like kind of even been in the dance scene. Like what does floor work initially mean in your line of business?
Okay, so yeah, basically as a male stripper, like that's pretty much what we do is floor work, because there's like not really no poles.
So you're dancing with nobody, you're just dancing for the girls, or
pretty much, yeah. So like I had a couple of male strippers there too. So they had a couple girls, and it was like picking them up and then like laying them down and then like doing the whole Magic Mike thing.
Okay.
But then the girls were doing the same thing too with the guys. Like I seen girls laying guys down and
they're
like
picking them up too.
Not picking them up, but you know what I mean. Yeah, they was laying them down. One girl on the face, one girl on crotch, and they just bouncing back and forth. Yeah, guys are having a great time, honestly. Just having a great time.
So how do you minimize like something going left in those situations? Because as much as we like to have fun, and that's the adult, situation, and like you're sitting on people's faces, you're doing all kinds of things. Like, has there ever been a moment where it got too much or kind of like chaotic and like something that was something not necessarily bad happened, but could have alluded to something different?
I mean, not really. For the most part, and that's like a blessing too, because it was a lot going on. But the guys were like very like respectful.
Nice.
I guess like the girls, they like had an understanding with their fans, you know, so that was good. Everyone was pretty much upbeat and positive. I think maybe one negative thing happened, but it wasn't that big of a thing to shake the whole booth, So.
Okay. I feel like Exoticas is kind of like maybe a good place to like start those things too, because they are also well-trained fans as far as like what you can get away with. And just, I feel like in the sex industry or adult, it's very positivity most times, but my biggest thing sometimes in those is like when they're too friendly in the VIP and getting too drunk and then come back and I'm like
very handsy,
you know. So that part. I mean, I always get this like I have that really good resting bitch face, so people don't typically fuck with me, and I also have security, but you know, it's just that teetering line. So I wonder like sometimes when it's just when you're so close to those people, it's hard to like have a boundary per se without them getting too excited.
Yeah, I would think so too. But like I said, the girls kind of had them guys like not in check, but like it was a lot of respect. Like they was like, you know, they came, they was like I seen guys like going to take a picture and they're like, can I grab you right here? Like, you know, like pretty much. So it's just like as long as they have that attitude, I think things are definitely like, you know, go where it needs to go. And that's pretty much how it was the whole 3 days. Even like on the last day, it was kind of slow, like Exotica is. But there was still a couple of friends lingering around. Everyone was still like, you know, had enough energy to keep their hands to themselves when needed.
We like that. We like sex positive, friendly fun where everyone has a good time. And you get a little, you know, maybe action going on.
Maybe,
you know,
right?
A little wetness going on there. Who knows?
Yeah,
Only a
for
good
sure.
time.
For sure.
So what inspired you to get into the adult industry? You started your background with music. Like what kind of like you teetered the line to like, oh, let me tap into adult now?
So like I said, I was a break dancer. So to just be better at that, you got to be stronger physically. So I started working out, and eventually I started meeting guys in the gym that was like male strippers. And once they seen what I could do on the floor, like the handstands and flips and whatever the case, they was like, "Bro, you can make some money." I'm just like, "How?"
At what age was this? Like when did this start? Like, have you always been dancing?
Yeah, I've always been a dancer. Always. Like, I was a kid. I was on the train at like 11 or 12 or something, making my own money.
Okay.
You know, Times Square, I was out there doing that, you know, when the guys had the big crowds and they're flipping over 20 people or whatever it is. Like, I was a part of those. I had my own team doing that for like a lot of years out here, actually. So as far as like...
What was the team name?
Three-way.
Oh, like there was always something sexually positive in here. Three-way.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, it was definitely...
Words are powerful. I'm a big manifestor of certain things, so sometimes you don't even realize what you put into the world,
you know what's funny?
It comes back to you.
Back then, I always told myself, I'm like, I'm going to go to Vegas, and I'm going to, like, street perform in Vegas, because that was, like, the mecca, because out here we was getting locked up, cops taking our speaker, you know, and now I live in Vegas doing porn. Crazy.
Hey, maybe you should take it to, what is it called? What's the strip that's downtown?
Fremont.
Take it to Fremont.
Yeah, take it to Fremont. That was definitely the plan, you know? Like, I spoke about it so much, I put it into existence, and now that I'm actually not dancing, I'm in Vegas. So to coexist with, like, what you said, you're right. It definitely happens that way, for sure.
It does. So what made the whole tip to, like, adult? So how did
Okay.
How did it tip the scale? Because at one point you go from just breakdancing.
Well, I was a stripper.
Now you're fucking girls.
Well, no, I was a stripper at first. Well, in between those. So it was breakdancing, and then like I started stripping. So it was like after school, from being down here to like now I'm on the weekends, traveling to like Connecticut to do private parties with like my friend, whatever the case. So, but I had really no insight on how this worked. Like he was teaching me, so he had like the whole background, like the history, how to do it, the vehicle, the traveling, the booking, the Instagram. So
you basically signed up with like a quote unquote agency or friend that helped you knew like the lay of the land and was like, hey,
pretty much
follow me.
Pretty much, yeah. So he would like pass me private parties here and there. I started doing that, and that's just what it was for a while. Then eventually, like, you know, clubs start happening. I start going down to Atlantic City, you know, doing that whole thing. So I'm just in the whole stripping thing, and then eventually, you know about Connect Pal.
I don't.
No.
I probably should. I'm so like naive to some like porn or adult things sometimes because there's so many that sometimes like you don't. And I also like left the industry for quite some time.
That is true.
And so it's like things tend to change.
Yeah. So Connect Pal.
Enlighten us all.
Connect Pal was basically the first OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like lock
before
videos.
It even actually started.
Before OnlyFans was a thing. So I was on OnlyFans in 2016.
Okay.
And then before that, I was on Connect Pal, because the thing was, if I come and you book me to dance, I'll get naked, but I'm gonna have a bandana tied around my, you know, so I'm not getting naked.
Did you get to pick what color bandana?
Oh, of course, that was my style. Yeah, pretty much, that was my thing.
I'm big into fashion, you know. I'm like, you get to pick the colors.
Definitely. Yeah, so that was my thing. And then on Connect Pal, if you signed up, I get you a card. You sign up to the Connect Pal, you can see me naked while I dance. You know, so that was my kind of thing.
Your hustle, I see. You New York through and through. Look,
pretty much,
you know
pretty much. And this is back in 2014. You know, so like I was doing that. And then OnlyFans came out, of course, and we switched over platforms. Me and him. He was schooling me on that. He was making like $5,000 to $6,000 on
So when you were
OnlyFans.
first on the OnlyFans, was it just you like naked dancing?
Pretty much.
Okay, because like if there's and that's what people I feel like also like even with private talk, right? So some people are also fans of me, and you can't say they haven't watched my movies, but everyone has their own platform, right?
Understood.
From OnlyFans to all the other ones that they're out exist. I'm not gonna give free publicity.
I got you.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
of
it's just very like interesting how that works because everyone like not just sex is going on.
That is true.
Right? So like there's people that have a cooking show. There's people that have workout things and sexy lingerie. There's people who just twerk. There's people who are dancing sexy and like yourself. And there's people who are doing solo scenes, right? And all these things. So I think like that's why for me it's like where like it's always like it's like the gateway drug. It's like
that is true.
It's like you get a little taste and then you're like, but wait, if I do this because again, I'm sure there's like I don't know. We can get into that too. But like at your private shows, was there sexual things that you maybe liked certain girls maybe after? Like there was things going down? Because those are also hot and heavy moments. And you know what I mean? And not all the time. But at that time, you're like, well, fuck.
I mean, if
why
we
not get paid for it?
Yeah. I mean,
and if you don't have an issue with it, if like, if you're open and if regardless if you're in a relationship and if it's open or you're just honest because they know that you're in a sex positive situation, I think that that's almost safer in a sense. I mean, call me biased because I'm Alexis Texas.
I mean, honestly, at that time, there was nobody for me to really be faithful to, so that wasn't really an issue.
So did you get a girlfriend and she was like, let's fuck on OnlyFans? Is that how it happened?
That's pretty much what I was, me personally. No, I was just like, hey, like, this is what I'm doing. So, you want to.
Oh, so you were like.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to.
Hey, mama.
Yeah.
You're going to make this money.
Certain girls I'm dealing with, we end up doing that. I went from like, dancing to like doing, well, I was, like solo stuff, of course. And then, having sex. And then eventually, like, I got tired of like asking girls to do it. And they would turn me down because they didn't want to show their face.
Okay.
So, and after a while, you got to understand that I'm trying to be a porn star. They're not, like, so I get it. So eventually I was like, I got to just start going where it's happening, and made a Twitter and reached out to the people that was doing what I was doing.
Okay.
And that's just what it was.
So who was the first person that you reached out to in the industry that kind of I guess segued you into this adult thing? Because there has to be either a company or if it was just OnlyFans. And that's the thing is nowadays because you don't really need companies, but the cool thing about companies is it's free advertising to push to people that you don't have.
That is
so
true.
A marketing strategy of those sorts is to, why not? You're a new face. You know what I mean? Like those things. So it's like, was there a company in particular, or would you only like your own stuff still to this day?
No, it was definitely a company in particular when I first started. But OnlyFans did like give me my my social media buzz, I guess you could say, because when you're reaching out to a female to collab, the first thing they do is go to your page. So like I had females that I was connecting with and doing collabs with, but like the first company was a smaller company out in Florida, actually.
Florida is where it all begins.
Pretty much. Actually, I was with an agency too after I shot for that company. The guy that ran that company, he actually has an agency out there, and then
they all do these days.
Yeah, like, but now, so I've been in about 5 years now. I've seen the rotation. I see how it goes, But it takes time to learn that, of course. But like, it's
with
like
anything in any business, you know what I mean? I feel like at certain things there's levels, right? And all you could do is evolve. And there's things that as long as you have a bottom line and where that doesn't draw and like doesn't fold, then.
But like everything else, it takes time for you to find that bottom line, because when you're eager, and
True.
this is new.
But that's also again with just being an adult, growing in a space of just at all, and not just only in the adult business, but finding like what you do and don't like, and sometimes that takes trying things. Like for me, it's like I'll always try something twice.
Okay.
First time because it's intriguing, and second to see if I really like it. Because sometimes I feel like first are always also kind of awkward. Like,
that
you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, do you really like it? So I'm like, let me see. And, and then I can kind of, maybe sometimes 3 times you need to repeat.
Depending on what it is, right?
You know what I mean? But I feel like that's the beauty of part of like being a content creator in this space is like, it's such a cool thing to see, even like yourself of going from, breakdancing to male stripping and not even knowing that that's even maybe something you wanted to do. And maybe it was, but knowing that now there's platforms out there like OnlyFans and those things that can kind of give you your own director debut of yourself and your craft and whatever to kind of like push you to like, hey, I'm out there. This is my business card. Now, hey, Florida business. I want to do the, you know what I mean? All those things where it's like now it's kind of advertising.
That
And
is
that's
pretty
kind of like,
much
even
it.
with me, it's like I've been in the business for 17 years. And when I saw you at that Exotica, it's always like, not in a sense, but like to be very like predatorial, but fresh meat
Yeah.
in a sense, right?
No, I
So it's
understand, I
like,
understand, yeah,
because
yeah.
I have a booth as myself. So it's like, I like to look and see what people are doing. And
Yeah.
like, I like to see the new faces. And at that time too, I was thinking about coming back in the industry. So it
Okay.
was like, who do I want to shoot with? So you walk around, you see who wants to do these things. And
Yeah.
it's just cool to see people evolve. And I think that
Understood.
it's cool to even like having your own niche on it, where like the dancing part and
Yeah.
aspect is because women now, I mean, for the last decade at least, like have been watching porn.
That is
so
true.
they want to see
That is true.
good looking men be, you know, because their husbands aren't giving it to them, or maybe they are, or they're looking for whatever, is see those kind of things that they couldn't do because maybe they don't have a strip club that they feel comfortable to go to, or that kind of navigation kind of stuff.
Yeah, I completely understand.
What would you say is your biggest challenge as a male performer in the industry?
Oh, overcoming the sins of the last guy before me, pretty much.
As far as performer?
Everything. It's like I feel like they're like
Are they venting to you and being like, like?
No. I mean, like basically, like like when you're newer, I guess, because I don't know if I'm new still. They say you're not new until you're 10 years in. I've been in 5, so I don't really know anymore.
You're like,
but like
you have like the
yeah.
dust knocked off a little bit, because you know what I
Pretty
mean.
much,
It's like
okay.
you like, because now I feel like too. Back in my day, let's make it about me, but it's like it was DVDs, right? So it's like
Got you.
we had
Yeah.
DVD covers, whatever, but people, you weren't really like, you were popular within the industry, and then you're popular within the community, or like
Understood.
the other, you know, the viewers.
Yeah.
So I feel like within the community, you're popular now at 5 years. So like probably 2 more years, you're gonna be even more on a thing. They're like, oh,
Within the community, like
yeah,
the viewers, the
the
fans.
viewerships, yeah.
I understand
And
what
not
you're
that you
saying.
don't have that fan base now, but,
No,
it's like,
listen,
but
I
that's how it
definitely
takes
get
to
it.
trickle things down.
Like you said earlier, there's levels. Pretty
For
much,
sure.
yeah. So I'm definitely still climbing. So I see that. But like I said, I don't know. I've kind of been in halfway through, so I don't know where I stand.
You're doing good, sweetie.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, as far as like the guy before me, like they basically and this is like protection. I know it comes from like, you know, you have a whole like set, things cost money, it's a lot of money involved, got it. But if a newer guy fails, then automatically I might fail. You know, like that's just what it is. And if a newer guy is too eager and he contact the girl before the scene, I might do the same thing.
So is that intimidating for you?
Not really, because I have OnlyFans and Instagram and TikTok. You know what I mean? Pretty
But
much.
when you
like,
walk into rooms or whatever, not that like, because that's in what you're saying is that's your fallout, right? Because OnlyFans is whatever. But
Yeah.
you wanting to be in the adult industry, you want to be. Like you put goat as your last name,
That's
so
what
you
I'm
already
saying,
have
yeah.
a target on your back.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you're
who
gonna
I
put
guess.
that, if you
Facts,
put
yeah.
that on your name, like you gotta show up.
That is
you
a
know what I
fact,
mean? So it's like, but it's also doesn't like negate that you could also be intimidated walking in those rooms, is because those are big shoes to fill. Because as me being a director at one point, it's like you're paying a location that's hourly.
Yeah.
You're paying talent that's there.
Yeah.
Now I haven't been on set in so long, but now there's like talent liaisons and like all these other
Yeah,
extra
it's a
people
lot of
that
extra
are
things
paying,
going on.
which at these points I think that are necessary in the society that we live in and what's going on.
Okay.
But I think in those things that now you have like from 2 people to like 10.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's, you know, all this
No, it's
where it's
definitely
like
a lot more on the
OnlyFans
line.
content. Sometimes it's like me and you in a hotel. We can put the, you know, the tripod thing, and it's more like intimate. So like in that production style, it's like, how do you, are there anything that you kind of like ritual wise that kind of help you to kind of like succeed in those moments? If you have any like advice for people who are trying to like
for sure.
start.
Yeah, for sure. I would say if you're definitely trying to get on camera in front of other people and be in that environment, I think it's just health, honestly speaking, like taking care of yourself. As a guy, I do I'm not the healthiest. I smoke weed, like you know, we take shots and all that shit here and there. There we go, like you know. But at the same time, I juice a lot too.
Okay.
I don't eat a lot of. I haven't had McDonald's or Burger King of that stuff since like 2012. Like so, I kind of do a lot of home cooking. A lot of that stuff's help when it comes to like you know maintaining a hard dick and stuff like that. Like beets is great for blood flow. I'm big on beet juice. Very very big on beet juice. You know so. It's just stuff like that, honestly.
Drink your beet juice, man.
Yeah, drink your beet juice and do your legs. Like, you know, building testosterone levels will help you when it comes to, like, stuff like that, you know? But, like, you know, people don't really, a lot of guys run from legs, so there's that, you know? But,
I had leg day today. I don't run from nothing. I get this big ass up here, you know?
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you're hitting them, you got to get in there and do something, you know? Like,
For
that's
sure.
what really counts, honestly.
I think that I read something and I believe it because I'm very like health conscious as well. It's like the more healthier you are, the hornier that you are supposed like you are. So you don't need those things is because
No,
you're
that is
like
so true.
you're like
It's so true.
you're running on like
Yeah.
pure goodness. You know what I mean? So it's like or not I can't even say that part, but it's just like clean gas. You know what I mean? It's like good energy flow.
So when I was younger, my one of my like older brothers, he not like real brother, but like on the street breakdancing, we all brothers. So he kind of told me if I want to get big, I got to do legs, right? And I'm just like, what are you talking about right now? Like that makes no sense. He was like, bro, if you want to get bigger, you got to do legs. Like it's gonna activate the testosterone in your body. That's just what it is. And I guarantee you're gonna be a lot more hornier. Now that I'm doing this, when I do legs and I do have one of them intense days, like I don't make it through the rest of the week without like recording a solo or like trying to shoot content or something. Like like I just have to get this out in a sense, pretty much, because I am feeling some kind of urge at this point.
So let's
like,
talk about that. How do
Yeah.
you balance your personal life and work life? So like in situations like that, right? So like if you're working, whatever, like do you still like whatever come every day? Do you masturbate to yourself? Do you save that for work? Do you have a how do you handle that? How do you balance it as a male performer?
It's not really that much of a struggle. I kind of deal with people that understand personally.
Okay.
So like I'm not.
But understand like what? Like you've had moments where something might have been like rock like hard in like a situation or
No, like well, that happens too sometimes, and you got to take a break and then get back to it.
Okay.
That's just what it is. But like that don't happen often,
Okay.
But like she understands that like I do this for work, so she's not trying to
Oh, you're talking about your
beat me
personal
down.
life. Got it, got it,
So she's not trying to like fuck how I'm trying. She's not competing with the job.
Okay, I thought you meant as far as
Like-
like work stuff. That's why I was like they're
Oh, as far
understanding.
as-
I'm like, how is work people understanding? I'm like,
No,
they're
yeah,
typically
work is
not
work.
understanding. They're like, hello,
no.
we've
Work
got
is
somewhere
work.
to be.
Yeah, work is work. No, that understands.
Okay,
Some
so you
people
just
might,
have a
but-
partner that knows what you do, so she's very like lenient and light on like those moments or whatever.
Yeah, and then
whatever.
I make time too. I got to do my part too as a man
Yeah.
and make time for
Okay,
her
so
personally.
that's the thing. So you
yeah,
make
for sure.
time.
Yeah, definitely. I have to.
So in your, what would you say is the balance? Like, is it 3 to 4 times a week that you're fucking your person, or 2? Is there like what is the balance there?
Honestly, I'm fucking my person a lot,
Okay.
and I probably won't fuck her like maybe a day or 2 before the scene that I have to do for like maybe Brazzers or something like that.
Okay.
Like I don't really play when it comes to that because like I said, they already expected me because I'm newer, so probably. So I gotta make sure I'm strong. So I don't really, I'm very like strict on that. But she understands that too. Like she's not like, oh, you gotta go fuck other bitches.
Does she perform?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
With guys?
yes.
Okay. How is that for you? Is it something that y'all were both doing before you guys got into the adult industry, or did you come in together?
So I was already in. I was in a couple years before I started dealing with her, and I had other people that I was dealing with before her that I was in. So I kind of already was experienced with doing that personally, whether it was on camera or off.
Okay.
But her, she's a little more old school, which is fine with me because I feel like after being in 5 years, I'm kind of feeling like, where's the camera? Let me just pick up the camera and keep in my pants. So like I don't mind. Like honestly, and then like we do our own stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever it's like traveling locations and stuff, our own content. So it's like, that aspect as far as me shooting is still always there because she's very creative. She does cosplay.
Okay.
Like we're always doing something different.
That's always good to have a partner that, like, again, maybe not be as active or whatever, but also just be understanding. You know what I mean? It's because that's the thing is I think in relationships that are in sex positive environments is like communication, right?
Yes,
and it's like
yes.
about just saying what your needs and wants are. And I think that there are certain people and performers that sometimes either the guy just does everything and the girl like just does girl, whatever. But I think that each individual person, I think if you allow them to do themselves, they'll stop doing what they want to do
whenever they're
originally ready to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like
yeah.
we're all sexual beings. We all want to do whatever, but it comes to a point where it's like we can't do this shit forever.
Yeah,
but we like doing it.
yeah.
But there's just other forms of way of doing it.
I mean,
So I
then
think
we're
it's great to
also
have a
human
partner
too.
that's-
Like, we also want to have that one person that we're actually sharing that one thing with too. That happens, pretty much. No?
How important is social media to your platform, like to your business?
Pretty important. That's
Were
pretty
you
much.
always big on social media when you were dancing and that, or is it more heavily now because of OnlyFans and those types
It's
of
definitely
like
more
subscription?
heavily now.
Okay.
Yeah, I was never really that big when I was dancing before. Maybe like a 10K page or something like that. My page now is like barely hitting 50K on Instagram. Twitter's different, but Twitter is like open to like sex. So like I feel like that's why all the followers are there for that.
Okay.
But as far as like building a platform, I feel like Instagram is that platform that kind of like tames you to like knowing how to build a platform. Yeah.
So with platforms like we talk about OnlyFans, and it's kind of like you're almost directing your own types of scenes and whatnot. Have you ever thought about branching out and directing for other companies?
Yeah, actually, so I just got contracted for Ricky's Room.
Okay.
Ricky Johnson.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He got his own site, so I got contracted for that one. That's pretty much what we're talking about after it's over, pretty much.
Nice.
Trying to just do that. So yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I have my own site as well, but that's kind of it's on the come up. I mean, it's actually being ran properly, but content and then company scenes and then trying to shoot like juggling the schedule is just
balance.
A lot. Yeah, balance is crazy.
Keep
balance
it. I mean, that's
crazy.
one thing. One advice if I could give is like just make sure you take time for you. I know that you have a relationship, but also take time for you because the more that we, I say that we're sexual athletes, so it's like we do this for a purpose, right? So it's also, but because of that, we have to like fuel our machine. So our machine comes with the mental, it comes with the physical, and it comes with just the, sleep, relaxation, all those key things because it's like you can't really do. That's why I'm Dr. Texas without the PhD.
Dr. Texas here. Okay.
Just, disclaimers. I have life lessons, life knowledge, but I think that as you see a lot of people like yourself, like you're in such a great groove in a great space in 5 years is like, you've done the work to be recognized in situations where it's only could go up. So it's like just maintain those things and just make sure to give it to yourself.
I appreciate you.
Take a little vacation. Don't leave the camera at home.
Yeah,
don't pick up your iPhone. That's the thing is like sometimes when you're also with a creator, it's like, oh, let's do this, but it's like sometimes just put it in the what is it called, the safe. Just put it away from it. Just put it away.
Just have the sex and enjoy it.
What's one of the craziest or most unexpected things that's happened to you on set? Is anything wild, crazy, anything's happened?
Honestly, no.
No, it's all clean.
I mean,
I can't say because for me, I get to ask that question and I don't have anything really crazy.
I just maybe it has, and I'm just so like
desensitized.
Like that's bad too, right?
That's bad at 5 years.
That's so bad. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I mean, we all going through like I guess like fluid stuff, like body stuff that happens on set, like so that's not crazy, right? That's not a.
I mean, everybody's crazy is different, right? And everybody like again, viewer. That's why I was like, for you, what sticks out that if like, and maybe it isn't anything. Maybe I don't know. Have you ever walked off set? Have you ever had a girl walk off set? Have you ever like?
Oh well, all right, yeah, okay, so like that.
Like you gotta
yeah,
keep
there
trying.
we go, there we go. Yeah, because I'm like, how do we? So I've never walked off set. No, that's just crazy.
Being like, I'm going home. Like,
yeah, that's just crazy. No, nah. But yeah, working this a certain company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you're very like you're almost media trained, where you're like this certain company, this one thing. You're like, yeah, smart man.
Yeah,
I've
kind of been around the block.
I can see why you put goat in your name.
I've been around the block.
Hey, been around the world. Yeah.
It was like a. I'm not gonna lie. The director was asking a lot on a pretty hot day.
So
it was a pretty hot day.
It's really hot.
It was a pretty hot day, and I'm like, whoa.
So obviously a gang. Exactly, it's at least more than 4.
It was definitely 5 of us.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So was it 5? Like, cause some are like 10, some are just like the minimum, some are whatever.
Yeah, it was definitely 5. This was like right after COVID, so they can only get to 5. I think.
Oh, is that a rule now?
I think during COVID it was like you can only do like 3 or something, and then after it was like COVID. 5. Yeah, I think right. Yes, I don't know.
Did they make y'all fuck with masks on?
No, when it was shut down. No, what I'm saying is this: when it was shut down, when it came back, basically,
I just say for the precautions. I was just like,
it was like 3, and then it was just like 5, and then I guess now they're back to normal, pretty much.
So there's 5 of you on there.
Yeah.
And she walked off. Why'd she walk off?
No, she didn't walk off. She threw a tantrum.
Oh, what was?
And it was like, oh, all right, guys, let's pause. Like, all right, guys, you want to go to the liquor store and get us some All right, let's.
So what was the tantrum? Like, what was she throwing a tantrum about?
Again, like I said, he was asking for a lot. It was a hot day, and this certain company was basically saying that the 5 of us, the 5 of us, I guess one of us lived there. We're all hanging out there.
Okay.
And he's like, she's gonna come. He wanted her to like wear all black with a ski mask.
Oh.
right?
And it was hot. Yeah.
It was like gloves
She was probably
involved,
fucking suffocating. Okay.
makeup and everything. So again, I'm just
fucked
like,
up.
okay, she's gonna break into you guys' house. She's gonna steal all you guys. Like, that's what I didn't say this. But he's just like,
You're gonna steal all the jewels, all your money, all your shit.
and that's the nice way to say it. Cool, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So yeah, she's gonna steal this shit. Got it. But that's not what he said at all. He said some other shit. But yeah, he said that, and then like, oh, she's gonna run to this room and then do this, and then run to that room and do this, and then leave out the house and go around back and then do this, and then so it was a lot of like go around and run around while she's like
And he
carrying
expects her
things.
to do this in one like thing.
No, it was a lot of cutting and rearranging
Okay,
and
it
stuff.
was just a lot of shit for her overall.
It was a lot of
She
shit.
was overloading because
She was in
like,
and out the house a lot. Honestly, she
Okay.
was, and it was hot. Like I said, it was in
because
LA.
she had the whole fucking full like thing on.
Yeah, because she's like sneaking into the house and then like creeping through a window and like doing the thing.
Okay.
And she just like ended up snatching this thing off. I was like, I'm not fucking doing this anymore. It's, like tears and like, what the, yo, in his face. And it was just like this cord right here. I was just like, I cannot. I'm like, yo, so the day is over, right? Because I'm not having sex with her. Or like, if we don't
Yeah.
handle this, like, pretty much, I don't feel comfortable.
Get
right
her
now.
what she wants.
Like, what is going on
Yeah.
right now? Like, pretty much. So yeah, it was kind of fixed. You know, the scene went on, the day went on, they fixed it or whatnot.
So how many
But-
hours was it in between that she needed her break?
No, it's probably like an hour and a half tops. It wasn't
Not
a lot.
bad.
It wasn't a lot.
Not
Yeah, it
bad.
wasn't a lot. It wasn't some diva shit because they definitely was
I
wrong, but she
mean,
definitely took the
Was
rope
it
she
for a
needed.
company called Vixen?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't for a company called Vixen.
I've never worked for Vixen.
If I would have
but
told
I've
you,
just-
if I would have told you what he said, you would know exactly the company. But
You can tell me off set because I
All
know you
right.
don't want to say it because
Got you.
you've already dodged the bullet a couple of times. But
Yeah, they're crazy.
no, but I say Vixen. I've never even worked for Vixen, but everybody like has said like their sets are just really long, and like that's why I just don't. I don't know. So that's why
So-
I assumed.
yeah, so I'm
Only makes an ass out of me and you.
yeah, I don't really do a lot of Vixen work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, their stuff is beautiful.
It
I
is,
feel
for
like
sure, for sure.
I just don't know if I could work for anybody else but myself.
I mean, at this point, I don't see why you should. You kind of,
No, know your worth, honey.
there's levels to this shit, right?
Let's see. Have you ever been in a situation where the chemistry just wasn't there?
Multiple
And
times.
how did you push through?
Multiple times. I mean,
Because this is where the sexual athlete like punches in, right?
Yeah.
Because we're there for a job. We
Pretty
also
much.
have the director who's paying something. He's not going to really say anything to you unless it's really your fault.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there
yeah.
also comes a time, is there another scene after you? Is there someone coming like, there's a lot of variables that come in because it's a business, guys.
Yeah.
We give it to your viewing pleasure. But what happened during this situation that went kind of left? Where the chemistry wasn't great?
Chemistry wasn't great. I mean, we all got people at home, and I think that's what it was overall. But
For her.
I think so.
So she got in a fight with her boyfriend because her boyfriend's like, you're going to go to a fucking set and fuck.
I mean, I don't know exactly what happened. Excuse me. I don't know what
hear
happened
all the
exactly,
horror
but
stories. They were
Yeah.
like, you're really going to go do this? You don't love me?
I'm
You're going to
done.
go get fucked?
That's
and then they
probably
fuck
what it
them
was.
and then send them to
the
a set.
set.
I've seen it.
Oh my God.
Thank God I married a performer. Thank God I'm divorced too. But I just...
This is crazy. Wow.
We're here at
Okay.
Private Talk with Alexis, Texas. I hope you're enjoying it because
Oh
I know I am.
man, that's diabolical. I hope you guys are not doing that for real. Because
We do.
bro,
I swear to God. I've like there was girls. Well, again, I don't know now currently,
Okay.
but back in the day, there was
Yeah.
girls that would be because back then too, there would be like 3 sets or 3 scenes a day. So like
It was
one
like that
girl
back
would
then,
be
yeah.
like in makeup, and then the next girl like they would like it was a process, right? Because
That's
you do
crazy.
makeup, pretty girls, you're doing
Yeah.
set things, whatever. But there would be girls who'd be like, oh, I got in a fight with my boyfriend. He got mad, and then there was also like. He said the only way I could come to work is if we fucked. And he, like, in his sick mental mind was that. The same way you're not saying the companies. I'm not telling you the girls'
yeah, I
problem,
get it.
but
Nah, I get it.
definitely
Yeah.
not mine. But the situation was there were multiple, not just that one, that were like that.
Damn, that's
And that's why
bad.
what's interesting is, like, a whole other tangent about dating in the industry of whatever, but of why
yeah.
things can go diabolical.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just assuming that's what it was, or maybe it was me. I don't know what it was. Honestly, we didn't speak on it. Of course,
I
like,
just made up a whole
yeah,
story for
I
you.
don't-
You're like,
I don't know what
man,
it was. Maybe
wow,
it was
this
that.
is
Maybe it
so
was her boyfriend.
intense.
Maybe it wasn't. But I assumed
Okay.
the guy
she
she
was
was
just
dating
not.
with.
She was not in the place of where like the
You know what's
energy was just
funny?
off.
I say that because yeah, whatever. For some reason, whenever a girl is dating this guy, like whether we collabed already or not,
Oh, there's
like,
a specific guy.
whenever a girl is dating this guy, whether we collabed or not, there's always some kind of vibe between her. Like we could be cool beforehand, and then she dates this guy, and then now she's never available, and she can never walk over and say
I've
hi
seen that too.
at an expo. She could, like, I don't know, it's just weird.
Because
like,
also male performers are also, no offense, some of the most insecure motherfuckers I've ever met in my life, which make no sense because y'all are getting not free pussy, but you're fucking a lot of great pussy.
Yeah.
But y'all are fucking insecure and need validation like a motherfucker. Maybe not you, but
I don't know.
That's why after I got married and I got divorced, I never dated somebody in the industry again. Is because I respect it, but I just can't. I'm Dr. Texas. I ain't nobody's mommy. I'm not telling. I'm not
oh shit. Man, yeah, that's pretty much
I'm
why
here to help
that.
you on the private talk. But how many girls did that happen to that you kind of started like until you started catching on? And you're like, oh.
No, honestly speaking, because there was that girl on set, like the vibe was weird, and that's why I assumed it, And then you asked what happened, like it was, I guess, it's funny. It was for one company I shot one scene for. Maybe that's the reason why he never called me back. I don't know, but like, yeah, it was weird. The scene was just weird overall. But but then the second girl.
What's the company? Like, what's the name of that one?
The second girl, she me and her already collabed, and
I have too many things to ask you off set. I'm gonna fucking forget them all. I spoke too much weed.
Yeah, me and her already collabed. It was really cool vibes. It wasn't nothing crazy. I'm not trying to smash off camera or nothing, and she wasn't. But like when it was time to collab again, I guess it was just we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this, we can't do that, and I'm just like,
no, thank you.
Yeah, you didn't have these no's last time we worked. I don't know what's going on, but that's fine. I'm respect it, cool, got it. But yeah,
Born again.
It stood out. Yeah, it stood out for sure.
I can't wait to know who it is. Too bad you guys won't, because he's not giving me all the juicy details.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Right, I respect it though. I respect it. I'm prying a little bit more and more. You're gonna give me something. It's like, I don't know what it is yet.
She's trouble. It's all out of trouble. She's gonna give me tequila and start crying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, how are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling like, how are you feeling? Are you enjoying the interview?
Of course.
Okay. So the next part of private talk is we play a little game called Truth with Texas.
Okay.
So we get a little bit more spicier, a little bit more naughtier, which all the things we've been talking about, we're leading up to those things. And you're an adult
pretty much,
entertainer that has a name, Mazee The Goat. I mean, I'm called The Goat, but I don't have it in my name. I got awards that have it on my shelf.
Yeah,
actually, they're not on a shelf yet, but they should be.
They definitely refer to you as The Goat. Trust me. That's a fact.
I honestly respect it. At first, I'm like, God, that means I'm old. But I'm like, you know what? Give it to me.
That means you're great at what you do. That's what it is.
This is very true. I did it for, a very long time. And I feel like I'm good at what I do. Keep watching.
You're great at it.
Stay tuned. So you watched my porn. That's what you're saying to me.
I have watched your porn before, of course. I mean, I started doing porn in 2019.
That doesn't mean that you watched me. Everybody has their own thing.
I mean, I've watched a lot of porn beforehand. Like, I used to watch Onion Booty.
Okay. So that's an old.
Okay, yeah.
Was that Red Light? No. What company was that?
I couldn't tell you. At the time I was in high school.
You were stealing it. Got it. There's always one of those. Make sure you get my OnlyFans.com, Alexis.
Definitely was a LimeWire thing.
LimeWire was the so long. Yeah, I can't even say the things I want to say because it'll make me older than you. But yes, I can. All right, so Truth with Texas. We're gonna get a little bit more naughtier, a little bit more spicier, a little bit more romantic, and a little bit more kinkier.
I like it.
So, are you ready to get into it? Do you need a break?
Oh no.
Okay, so
I never need a break.
We should take another shot actually, because I'm gonna need you to loosen up a little bit.
Is this cool?
You're okay. Mine's bigger. I'm gonna sip it, but everything's bigger in Texas, baby.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Whew.
Okay.
So, would you consider yourself a romantic?
I definitely am a romantic.
Okay, so what is the most romantic thing you've done for a partner? Don't be shy. Let the ladies know, Maze. We want to know what you do for your girl.
I'm not shy at all.
We know you from the Bronx, okay?
Nah, that's cool. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. My lady is different than my man side, so there's that.
As she should, because she deserves it after all the shit she sees you be fucking these girls and
Pretty much. Nah, yeah, the most romantic thing I've done for her, honestly, was she had like some work to do.
Okay.
And I knew it was like one of them scenes because I knew who she was about to work with. So she ran her bad when she got back home. Food was there. I cooked.
Nice.
I
Okay.
went to culinary
So you're
school
very
and shit.
thoughtful. So it's
Yeah,
like
I'm a
one of those
thoughtful
things
dude,
where
yeah.
it's like if you know the situation, it's like you're running a hot bath, you're making sure you're supportive. You're not the one who's like, who you're going to work with?
Nah.
You're not gonna do this. You're not doing this position. This position.
Nah, we don't
Which
really
never
have.
made sense to me. Like,
There's not
why
really
do any
nobody on
position
my
if
no
you can't do
list.
it?
None of that stuff for her. Like she definitely can flourish how she wants to.
I
And
love that.
if she hasn't, because certain people know who she is. So if she hasn't worked with you, it's got nothing to do with me. Pretty much.
You heard. But I like that. I feel like you, I don't know if it's because of like your New Yorkness, of like the suaveness of like just who you are. You just seem comfortable with like who you are as a person, where you are in life. So I feel like that really is like a telling sign of like when you're with a partner, how you pour into them and really like let them do their thing. Because it's like, me making the joke is like, I never understood where it was like, oh, you can't do this position. You have all these limitations, which everyone could have a limitation, right? And everyone has boundaries of what your relationship can withhold. But
it should make sense.
The same thing is that when it becomes very like, when you're like, what? Like it doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's like
I can fuck him, but I can't fuck him in this position.
Exactly. Like it just seems very
it doesn't
immature,
make sense.
right?
Yeah,
so it's like at that point, it's like, what are we doing? So it's like, I think that.
That's a power trip at that point, honestly speaking. And when it's coming from, especially from like,
it's more yes and no. Yes, but ego more.
Okay.
Because ego is where it's like it hurts him more knowing if maybe that's his thing and they do together or whatever. There's funny? Something that is connect of either maybe also sometimes women say things out of spite.
Okay.
Of certain things that they'll hold on to, and maybe they don't.
Yeah.
But that's where it derives from.
I mean,
because they say that
I respect where you're speaking from, but I like literally was like with someone when I first started. I was with someone who was pretty big in the industry, and I was still trying to figure it out, and like that was not the type of understanding that So it kind of definitely works hand in hand on both sides. In that situation,
were there moments of insecurity?
Yeah.
And would you say that it's because your partner didn't make you feel comfortable in that situation, or was it just a you thing? Because it could go hand in hand.
It was definitely a her thing.
Don't be.
No,
don't
because
be just pointing fingers. Be honest here.
So like you said, I'm from New York, and if I felt like if you're at a certain level with this, like you said, there's levels in this, and if I'm trying to get there, and we're like this, you should let me flourish, because
So she started to get jealous of certain things.
As a man, I gotta stand on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like literally and it was like not even just starting to get. It was like behind your back, like, hey, can you not work with Maze? Like, home is not good right now.
See, I don't
like
that.
Yeah, it
that
was like,
to me is
and
very, and everyone has their own thing, but for me, that means that I don't respect you in the craft that you're choosing to do.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like if I have to even just not have the conversation with you not to do it, which is already kind of questionable because now you both have to navigate that, but to go behind your back and say things, for me is that a lot of people sometimes, because like, again, the thing that bothers people, they say if you look in the mirror, it's usually what's wrong with you that you have a problem with because of the insecurity of what that lies within.
And it took a while for me to realize that because I handled that poorly, honestly. I don't mean to cut you off for like just on my part. I handled that poorly. I am from New York.
Yeah.
And you fuck with my money now.
Yeah.
So things got very like, now, like, what are you doing? Like, like, with the hands now. Like, it's a lot going on.
And that's why, for me, again, understanding that I'm a Gemini, but I'm Puerto Rican, too, so I talk with my hands a lot. I've had some boyfriends be like, you look like people are thinking we're crazy. I'm like, I just talk with my hands. And then I have a silverware in my hand, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be crazy.
Boy. What the fuck?
But I'm like,
what the fuck did you just say to me?
And I'm like, but I'm just passionate, right?
I understand.
But in the same sense of, like, the escalation of certain things again, but it's growth, right?
Yes.
You also feeling like you should help me navigate, and again, not saying any party is right or wrong or how we do things.
No, I understand.
It's the growth. Right?
I understand for sure.
For me, it's like at this stage in our lives, or whatever, we're just adults. Is like people can agree to disagree, but it doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be ugly, but we should be able to articulate with our words and say that, hey, if you're just not for me and we're not rocking with each other, cool. But unfortunately, the world that in society we live in is very ghost-like. They just will stop talking in a situation. They get angry. They don't know how to. They don't know how to articulate their emotions because they weren't taught younger how to control those emotions.
That is
so
true.
They act out in rage.
That is true.
And then later apologize. So it's like, we all have work to do. I think that it's very, communication of let's be honest.
Yeah.
Especially in like spaces like this, is a sensitive job thing. Not everybody agrees to like want to sign up to be with a partner who's in the adult industry. When people know that, hey, you're going to work, you're going to go fuck someone. It's a hard pill to swallow for those who just aren't used to it.
That is true.
But at the same time too, it's that if we were all honest with each other, ultimately with people like that in the industry, and said what we needed and we wanted and really chose those partners, we wouldn't fall short with these bad things.
I definitely agree with you.
My opinion.
No, I agree with you on that. 100%.
What is Dr. Texas without the PhD now?
I agree with you 100%. You got to be upfront about things. That's kind of one thing I learned coming from here. It's like when you got something you want to deal with, if you don't deal with it right then and there, chances are it's going to come back to bite you in your ass one way or another.
Preach.
For real.
Foreplay or sex, you have to pick one.
Sex.
Lingerie or naked?
Lingerie.
Favorite body part of a woman?
Her belly.
Favorite body part that you're most proud of?
On me?
On you.
Oh, shit. My eyelashes.
Oh, you would say that. Most men have the best eyelashes. I fucking hate it. Isn't the irony in it all? All right, kinky questions. Favorite time of day to have sex? Morning, noon, night, all the time?
Middle of the day, probably.
Middle of the day?
Yeah.
Bondage, yes or no?
On me or on her?
This is your rodeo. You tell me.
On her.
On her?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're tying, you're whipping, you're chaining, like what? You have like a whole dungeon?
Nah.
What's going on over there? I'm not subscribed to your OnlyFans yet.
I'm very basic
I'm not sure
with
what's
the
going on
bondage.
over there.
Very basic. So if it is anything, it's like blindfolds, handcuffs. You know, we got the thing for the feet. That's,
Okay.
you know, with the bag.
I feel like if anything, it would be like more
Low.
like satin, like pillowy, like very intimate ties.
Yeah.
Not like
not
shackled ties.
No. Yeah, not the X. No, I got a big X.
Like the whole just put my shirt and tie my hand.
Yeah, nah, that's not one of those. I'm not experiencing a lot. That's a lot of
So role playing, yes or no? You said your lady is into cosplay. Do you role play, or is that just something you leave for work?
Just something for work.
Dominant or submissive?
Honestly, I'm good with both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been involved in an personal life?
Yeah.
How many people were in this?
It's been a couple of personal life.
Oh, did this piggyback off the whole dancing extravaganza?
Nah, this isn't porn. I can speak on this because this was cool. Sarah J threw me a birthday in 2021.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Sarah J was a guest not that long ago on the show. Yeah, she was here. She was one of the first ones we had in New York right before Exotica.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Sarah J.
Cool peoples.
Have you ever given or received a golden shower?
Both. Both.
Which did you like better?
Honestly,
you like being peed on.
Nah.
Yeah, you do. You couldn't answer both.
No, so I've experienced both, but if I gotta choose one or the other, I definitely want to be the one peeing. You know, I did it. Well, I'm a pleaser. I'm a male Pisces, so there's that. You know, I'm open to
you're emotional.
I can be for sure. Yeah, definitely.
So you'd let me pee on you?
I mean, if we was at that emotional state, probably.
No, just straight off the bat. No. So
No.
not I would be hey, we're going out here to go pee and I'm going to pee on you.
No.
But what if we did content together and I was I just want to pee on you?
No.
No? Sad.
Nah. I mean, it's funny too, even sometimes, because that's not always.
So you're saying it's more of a relationship intimate thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a work thing for you.
It's definitely not a work thing for me. Getting peed on, no.
See, in my pee stage, back in the day when I was went through this thing, because I was I felt very like a superhero.
A superhero? Okay.
It sounds crazy, but because at the time it's I'm also very old school and very Southern, right?
Yeah.
So not a lot of men are going to be yeah, pee on me. It's not a thing, right?
Yeah.
So in the industry is where I also tested my all the things or whatever. So after a scene before I got peed on first. So I was oh, I didn't know what the felt the opposite, right?
Gotcha.
So I was I want to pee on you. And they're sure. When I peed on his head, it was the best thing ever. And not sexually, but like a empowering thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, there we go. But also after that too, like I've tried to pee on people and I cannot be pee shy. Like I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I talk to big game. But work wise, it's different. Personal, I'm the opposite. I couldn't do it personal. I'm like, I would try and I'm like, I just can't. Like, it's almost funny.
It's a lot to do, honestly, because then you got to move like areas.
No, you do it in the shower only. Like you don't do it in places like in your bed. Who wants to clean that up?
So we're going to fuck right here. We're going to get up. We're going to pee on me right here. We're going to stop and then go back over here.
Yeah, like I have a big walk-in shower, so like for me it would be like, you know, there was a stool, there's all things like I'm not just pissing on my floor.
No,
like,
so for
we're animalistic people, but we're not animals.
No, yeah, we're not animals. For me, we had to like shower. It was like shower sex, you know. So we was in there already doing our thing, and then it was just like,
see,
all right,
that
cool.
to me is hot. You know, like it's like a thing because it's like, and not a premeditated thing. That's why for me thinking about it, I'm like, because people are like, okay, well then do it, and I'm like.
Well, damn, wait. Like, right?
It's like, damn it.
It's like, why you want it so bad now?
Me. And that would took the power, and then I just stopped doing it. That was, so 10 years ago. All right, spicy. Let's see. Most embarrassing moment that's happened to you sexually. Is there something that's happened to you in your personal life that just maybe was a little... Yeah, there is. He rolled his eyes in the back of his head. We want the truth.
Oh, man. Nah, I ain't even going there with you right now.
That is not fair. You can't do all that eye rolling and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
You need a shot. We need to know what this is.
That's hilarious.
I know how to do Heimlich.
Oh, man. Yo, you were something else.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini. It's diabolical. What did you call me earlier? What is it? Let's know. Come on. Give us a little insight.
So,
You're not driving.
Completely under... Yeah, I'm not driving. Completely under the influence, of course, right?
Let me.
It was like a wild night I was having with like
You're in a safe place, okay? Just let it out.
It was a wild night I was having with certain somebody, and like after it was done, like it was like a mess on her face, and like
you can't.
No, like she like got out to kiss me, and it was just like one of those like facial like just kisses like with a exchanged pretty much.
Your
like
king got your on your face because you can't. She kissed.
No, it wasn't like we just kissed and it was like, oh, I got face. We was like kissing like after it was done and over.
How'd you feel about that?
I mean, it was mine. It's not like I like eat dirty or nothing like that.
Was it good? Did it taste good?
I wasn't trying to like figure it out. I just
so you didn't know until afterwards, really, and you're like, what the fuck did we do? Because you were in the moment.
No, I knew what was going on, but like we was vibing, so it was just like, all right, whatever. But like,
but that's kind of hot though. If you're like in the moment, it's yours. It's not like it was somebody else's.
I would have probably not done it if he wasn't under the influence. So I probably like there's that.
But you did, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
Memorable.
It was fun. It was cool.
Is it on OnlyFans? Can we watch it?
No, it's not. It is not on OnlyFans.
That's one of those moments.
It's
one
not
of those
OnlyFans.
moments.
Not at all.
Let's see. Have you ever hooked up with a friend's sibling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you stay friends after?
I don't think they know about it. I don't think they were.
Surprise!
I don't think they know about it. Like, word.
All right. Last set of questions. Naughty question. Biggest turnoff. You're in the sex industry. You have a lot of things that turn you on, I'm sure. What is something that turns you off completely, immediately, that you're just...
Work-wise, I'm assuming.
It's this. It could be either. It could be work or personal or both.
Yeah, well, I feel like this won't matter if I'm dealing with you personally, but like if we're going to work, I feel like you should show up to work and you should do
hygiene.
I think.
I mean, isn't that work standard?
I can take a little bit because, like, you know, when you're working up a sweat, it happens. If your underarms is a little bit off, that's fine. I ain't even tripping. But like, if I'm like hitting it and like I'm getting like wolf's back,
that happens work wise. Interesting.
And nobody says anything.
Why don't you?
Because I don't want to be the one. I'm not gonna like.
But you're the one who's dealing with it.
I mean, we're all dealing with it.
See, this is
we're all
my
in the
issue.
room.
Okay, let me pause the situation. And I respect, like, as a man, obviously, there's. I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
And
right?
I know that too. So I'll probably just be like, ugh.
No, but again, also you're performing, right?
Yeah.
So let me. If these situations arise again, right? Because I've been in situations back in the same thing too, but back in the day where it's like, it also sometimes if it's not your production, it's not your job.
Gotcha.
If you don't want to feel whatever, so it's like, if you want to go to the director and be like, hey, I'm not trying to be weird, but like, something's a little off. Like, I don't really know if I want to do whatever. Like, because it's also
Yeah.
your body, your
Nah, I
rights,
understand.
right?
Yeah.
So even like when I would shoot, like I didn't always shoot with girls. So I only did like boy, girl, or whatever. So when I started shooting with girls is when it really became more of a like when we'd take pictures or whatever. And during pictures, if something was off, I would either be like, hey, come with me to the bathroom and like, let's like whatever. I didn't do it in front of all the whole set. I didn't do something, whatever, is because some of the, especially like, and I don't know what types of girls in the industry level of whatever that you work with, but sometimes the newer guys have to work with young, like the newer girls or like coming in or whatever, that they don't know their body. One thing about the industry is like taught me so much about my body from looks, smells, whatever. Like this is my best friend. So I'm going to know everything it is because of me going to work is like, I also want it to be good for my coworker and I want it to be like whatever. But some of these girls don't even know why they're in the industry. They're just doing it because money, this, that, the other, their boyfriend, their friend, whatever the fuck the situation is. So that's why for you is as the mature, like one who's actually business doing this is like, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, and not that you can't work in those conditions, but be like, hey, like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? It's because why should it be fair to you that you have to do that?
No, listen, I get it.
And again, it's not like you'd be like, hey, bitch, why you use smell? Like, because again, then you'd be like out of pocket. And I'd be like, no. But it'd be like, even if you like, be like, hey, like, come talk to me outside real quick. Or if y'all smoke weed or whatever the fuck, like something, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day is we also, and this is not just us in the performer world, but in the world of people fucking in general, have such a problem with saying, oh, this hurts, or oh, this doesn't feel good, oh, this smells, whatever, but you're still gonna let that person enter your body and fuck you.
You
so why can't we just communicate and be like, and then both enjoy it? Because sometimes we're human, right?
I mean,
some
I feel
things
you on
are
it.
off. So that's why for me, I always tell people it's a practice. Like, is it uncomfortable? Yes, but we're also adults. So anybody who can't understand or have that adult conversation doesn't need to be fucking you on set.
They shouldn't be on set, pretty much.
And that should be a kill fee to you. You showed up on set on time, you know, ready to do whatever. But that's the thing is, it's the honesty. It's like, this is a sex thing where we should communicate. Like, we shouldn't just be like after and you're like, man, that was shitty. Like, and I used to be that person too. But now I'm like more vocal, not shooting porn.
So
because
you know what it is
it's
for
like
me?
been to a thing where it's like, why shouldn't I? I'm not settling for less. I want everything.
Nah, listen, I feel you on that 100%. I just I think now it's just this new culture of like you know, the cancel and the sensitivity of like and the like non-accountability, you know, like pretty much. So like I don't know what to do.
But that's why I tell you, don't put it on you. You go to the director and you say, look, I'm not saying whatever, but like something's off. And I have a full set I have a whole full week this week, and I don't want to not whatever. Like, can you talk to whole girl and whatever? Because that's also now why I do like the set liaisons and all these things, whatever. It's because that's what their job is for. They're being paid, so it's like you shouldn't be the uncomfortable unless it's your set. Then we have to make decisions, right? Because I've also been that too. But it's also like we should know. And some of these girls, unfortunately, which sucks, don't know. And back in the day, it wasn't just the girls; it would be the dudes, like the dudes that would like not be circumcised, and it's like, and you can't tell me that you don't see what's happening. And I get that we all want to work, but at the end of the day, this is why we have protocols.
That is true.
So as performers, we have to speak up.
Yeah, I feel you on it. I feel you.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna definitely let them know.
Let them know. All right, one more question, and then I'm gonna let you ask me a question.
Okay.
Have you ever faked an orgasm? Not on set, obviously, because we could tell, but I never knew this was a thing for men, but I heard that men fake orgasms.
I don't, so like they fake orgasms.
Like they fake your orgasm.
Okay, so
and we have to physically see it, right? But I've heard that people do it to either get out of situations or do like whatever, so they like fake act like they're
get out of the situation. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For sure,
so that's why y'all fake.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
But that was long before I started porn.
Can you show me how you fake?
You know what's funny? You've probably seen it. Well, not seen it, but like if you've seen like a Brazos out or something, like you've probably seen it.
Can I see the face?
I'm like pro setup. So when I'm there, right, and we're like hitting it, I'm just like, yeah, come here, give me. I'm out the. Hold on, wait, come here, stop. Open your mouth. Are y'all ready?
But you,
like, you get what I'm saying?
Can't fake personal life, and then there's no in their mouth.
But that's what I'm saying, though. So I've never done it in personal. I probably had a condom on and like I'm and I like, all right, back to my condom on. I'm about to get out of here. Pretty much. But yeah, as far as that on set go, yeah, it's what's done sometimes. You know how it is, like set up.
Oh yeah, the setups I get that. That's why I'm like, but you can't do the regular and be like, and then you're like, oh, I'm waiting, and there's nothing there.
And there's nothing.
Like, I gotta go. I'm being like, if you don't get the fuck back up.
Nah, it's not like that. But in the personal, it's like I'm gonna have a condom on or something from saying, and then I like fake it in the condom and just like.
I really never knew that was a thing. And then like when I had my guy friend tell me that, I was like. He's like, you're thinking about all the guys right now. And I'm like, I am. I'm like, I don't know. Like, you really don't know.
If you're good and bad, you ain't got to worry about that, honestly speaking.
True,
like,
but
that only happens when, like, women are not good and bad.
But there's, like...
I'd rather go home and just watch TV at this point.
True.
Literally, like, that's pretty much what that was that night.
But I've been fucking for a long time. I mean... No.
I mean, listen, if you going in, you're going in. Honestly.
Hey, we're going in.
Not everybody's like that, though.
All right, that was Truth with Texas. See, it wasn't that bad.
No,
Is there anything that you would like to ask Miss Texas before we get out of here?
Truth with Texas. Okay.
Truth with Texas was what we just played. That was the kinky, spicy questions. But you can ask me anything.
Oh, okay.
If there's anything you would like to ask me, you have 2 questions that you can ask me. Let's hear it.
If you had to do something over in the industry to like better the woman you are today, what would you do?
You know, I don't live in like regret or going back. I feel like everything happens for a reason. I think that there's probably things that I could have done differently, but I feel like at that moment in time, that's what I felt like I needed to do. So I feel like I don't really have anything that I regret or would go back to do. Nothing. No.
You wouldn't do anything differently at all?
No. And I don't just say that because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I just don't know. But like, there's nothing that like, I feel like I had a great career. I feel like I worked with a lot of great companies. Yeah, like I really don't think I would do anything different. I feel like it worked for me in the timing of my life and where I was at my life in those certain times. And yeah.
Okay.
No regrets.
I mean, hey, that's
no regrets.
That's very rare. You never hear that, honestly speaking. Like,
no, I try to think. I'm like, there's nothing. No. Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. I guess the other one would be, yeah. Are you gonna come back?
Well, you know, so like I always hated the word like retirement, right? Because it's like it seems so final, and everyone, you know, back in. When I was actively shooting, people would come back and like they would be like, "Oh, we had a last scene," and then they'd come back like a couple years later. So I never really wanted that, but now being older, I understand, like, because again, when we evolve, there's certain things that we want and we don't want, and certain things that we can come back and revisit and see if we want them again. I think the interests and tastes change.
Yeah.
So I came back a couple years ago. I think it's like 2 years ago. I did a scene for myself because my biggest thing was like how the industry changed from when I left to when like that. Wait,
I'm sorry. So you wasn't even doing OnlyFans stuff. You wasn't doing no sex on camera.
So I had OnlyFans from before OnlyFans was popular, but I wasn't active really on OnlyFans until the pandemic happened. But at that point, I was still not shooting for anybody, so I was only doing solo stuff.
Got it.
So until 2 years ago, did I do a boy-girl with dread on my OnlyFans.
Okay.
Because that, for me, was like, if I'm going to come back, like, the Texas thing is go big or go home, right?
Yeah,
so for me, I'm never going home. So I wanted to be with, like, the best person and, like, the biggest person to be like, hey, like,
this is what I did. Yeah, I understand.
And I owned it. And for me, it's like, it was a beautiful thing is because the industry had changed. Like, I had worked for so many other companies, but never owned my own product. So it was like really special for me to do that. And Dredd was like the perfect person to do that. He's an over talker and I'm an overthinker. So it was the best dynamic of everything. He was so great to work with. And it was great. So I do stuff for my own stuff.
Understood.
I've been selective here and there. I've done probably since I came back 2 years ago, 3, maybe 4 for my OnlyFans.
Nice.
And then I did 2 mainstream stuff for Jules Jordan, who's a really good friend of mine.
Okay.
So I did a scene with Jules, and then I also did a scene with Hollywood Cash. Okay. For Jules Jordan. So that's the only mainstream like company that I've worked for in the last 6 years.
All
So for
you
me
never
is,
retire. You just like took a break, pretty much.
yeah, for me is that I'll always be Alexis Texas. Even like my podcast is Private Talk with Alexis Texas.
Got
you know,
it.
I like we
It's a
evolve as
household brand
people,
now.
and we do things where it's like sometimes like I'm not in a relationship, I'm single. Like there's no reason like I like to fuck, so why not fuck for my site and give you guys what you want.
Yeah,
so you know, and if when I don't want to do it, I don't do it, and I do it selectively for me. And that's the you know the great thing about these platforms is that they've kind of given the performer the power back, and not these companies of making so much money off of us. So I you know really appreciated the financial independence that I have gained from being allowed to be Alexis Texas in this platform. But it also gives me the grace to do my podcast, something that I really love and appreciate, to come and have you guys come on and get to know you more, is because, like I said earlier, it's like we don't always get to talk to us, you know, like performers. It's like, you know, when we would do Exoticas, we so like made the joke of like it's like porno camp, because then we're all together in the same place, but then at the same time as we're doing all these different things that sometimes if you're not in that group of signing together, then you don't really see each other.
That is true.
So for me, what I love about my podcast is that I get to pick and choose the people I want to come and sit in the chair. And I love that you guys dedicate your time to come and really be a part of the show with me.
Of course.
And get to know you more.
Of course, of course.
So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
For sure, thank you.
Please let us know where we can support you, follow you, all of those things.
Yes, of course, of course. So Instagram is going to be Mazee The Goat, 2 E's, Mazee The Goat. TikTok is the same. OnlyFans is the same. Other platforms, honestly speaking, just, you know, you can find me at that everywhere, honestly.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Said, one and done. He was smart with the home marketing thing.
That's it. One and done.
Thank you so much, Private Talk, for listening. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you go and follow this man. He is the GOAT for sure. That's coming from another GOAT. So hope you enjoyed it. Until we meet again.